Radio. FuzzJockRadio.
Oh, yeah. No audience tonight, guys. I don't know if you noticed that I didn't let them in. It's one of those things. It's just one of those things for us tonight. Charles, can you go get the audience, please?
Okay, let me go get them. It's kind of raining out here, so I should probably let them in from the rain. So let me
Oh, it's raining? Oh, boy.
Come on in, everybody.
Oh, finally, you guys. You guys,
Oh, yeah,
I was
they're
out there.
They're here. Oh, yeah, see, we were just joshing around.
It's cold out there.
We got the audience here. Well, that was a little interesting way to start the episode, but you know how we like to roll here in FuzzJock Radio. My name is Fuzzy, and I'm adjusting some of my audio levels right now while we're talking. If you want to know, because this is now a sound engineering podcast.
Yeah.
And
Welcome to the sound engineering section of the show.
One of the hosts of this sound engineering podcast, and we have a guest here.
Hi.
And their name is
Ocho.
Wait a minute, guys.
Wait a minute.
Wait a
Chris
minute.
Jericho's here?
No, not the Ocho. The Ocho.
Oh, Chris Jericho Senko.
Do you guys go by the Ocho or Ocho?
This is Ocho.
Just Ocho?
Yeah.
See, Jericho goes by the Ocho.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, as you can see, we are not a sound engineering podcast. We are actually a sports podcast.
Psych.
And my name is Fuzzy. It is still Fuzzy.
Yeah.
And I'm not a host. I'm a guest.
Correct.
Okay.
And you're not a guest.
I'm a ghost.
No?
Close.
You're not a host either.
Ah,
You're a hest.
a hest.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. And James.
Oh, dude, I'll do that.
James is here, all the way in Mankato, and
Hi.
their name is,
It's James.
and he's also
Hest.
a hest.
Hest.
And then we have somebody all the way out in California, and their name is,
C-dubs.
and they're also a
Hess.
hest. Yes.
All right.
Not hosts, not ghosts,
Hest.
not guests, but
Right.
Hess.
Yeah.
Here on FuzzJock Radio, we do not deal with hierarchies, and in most, podcasts or interview situations,
Yeah.
you have either you have a host and then an interviewee or a guest, right?
Yeah.
And then with those words, we were talking about words earlier, right?
Yeah.
With those words, it creates a dynamic of one of the host or the host or the guest ends
Yeah.
up being better than the other, right? And here in FuzzJock Radio, we
Yeah.
don't want to portray that.
We're the same. We're on the same level.
We're all on the same level.
Yeah.
Yep. Is that right, JMS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Level 4.
That is correct.
Level 4. Not a level 11. We might get to level 11.
When we were there, we're all there, though, at the same time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I'm a little nervous. I got a lot going on.
Well, Benny.
At first, I was peeking, so I wanted to make sure that wasn't
yeah.
working. That wasn't happening. Because I forgot to sound check myself.
Oh, no.
And in life, you want to make sure to sound check yourself before you...
Sound wreck yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, here on FuzzJock Radio, we do a thing called intros. Mm-hmm. And we
say hello.
say hello, and we like to talk about what we did the last week. James, do you want to show us the audience how we do this?
Yeah. Well, I missed last week because I came down with a flu
That's
bug.
right. You weren't here, were
Yeah,
you?
no, I was feeling achy. Better than I was earlier in that day. But
C-dubs, did we do okay without James?
I thought it was good.
Okay.
I listened back to it. I had a fun time.
Not as good as
I
if
enjoyed the
Jameis was
episode.
actually here. You did enjoy it.
I enjoyed the episode.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
But since then, just kind of feeling better and feeling glad to be feeling better.
Yeah, I bet.
You know,
I feel happy that you're better too.
yeah, dude.
Same.
You know?
Engaging in a lot of like comfort food type activities. So
Comfort food activities. Which would be like
I don't know. I've been in particular, been digging out like some video games that like I haven't played for maybe a few years that I
good.
used to like really enjoy.
yeah, it brings back some good memories.
Yeah,
like
yeah, things
chilling.
like that,
Yeah.
and finding some old YouTube series that I used to, I'll get into that later.
Okay. C-Dubs, how's your week
Hello.
been since the last time we've been here?
Well, it's been a lot of wrestling filled, I guess.
How do you mean?
We've watched a lot of wrestling has happened, and I've watched a bunch of wrestling in that time. Otherwise, just helping my parent-in-laws. Is that what you call them?
Parent-in-laws?
In-laws. Yeah.
Yeah, your in-laws.
In-laws. In-laws help them move, and then
Do they
I've
move
been
far?
working at 6 a.m. every day, so my days end early as well.
6 a.m. is very early. Did you have to move them that early, or like right after work? After being, was it like a full week of work and then moving your parents-in-laws?
I moved them on the weekend.
Oh, so you didn't even have any
So-
time off.
Not really.
Oh boy, I hope you can get some rest here soon.
Yes,
Okay,
I need it.
okay. Ocho,
Yeah.
how's your life been?
My life has been all right. I'm I recently have let go of some emotional baggage, which
yeah.
was it was really just grief from all the things that I lost in like 2020 and 2021. And I was really looking on the bright side and things, which is fine, but also there's like actually some loss to accept. So I did that.
Oh, good.
Some of that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm feeling better because like I actually got sad for a while.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yep.
It's tough to lose things, especially when they're not exactly you're saying that you want to lose them.
Yeah.
Can you lose things on purpose?
You can give stuff up,
You can,
Yeah.
But
you
yeah, it
can.
wasn't voluntary.
Okay.
It was just a lot of work and social things and fun things I was doing, And I called the psychiatric department of the Mankato Clinic to get some grief counseling, and they're booked out 6 to 9 months.
Oh wow.
So I was like, I better do this somewhat on my own, I better at least like do something for myself. So I've been journaling, which is great.
Yeah, that's good.
I've been doing my podcast.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So Ocho here is a local musician /
Legend.
musician legend, if you will.
He's
a local legend.
Local
as well.
local legend.
Mythical.
Yeah, not just musician legend, but legend. Mankato legend.
It takes one to know on C-Dubs.
I've heard great tale of this man's setup.
Oh yeah,
Plays a lot
Before.
of music.
full.
Very full.
Currently,
Have you ever heard of it?
It's a full setup.
a full setup. Yeah. Currently has a podcast called "I Don't Do That," which I was a guest of
Right.
just recently, and is a brand new show on FuzzJockRadio, which is premiering this Friday at 7 p.m. For every 7 p.m. on Friday night, you can find I Don't Do That
with Ocho.
with Ocho.
Yeah.
And you can find all of, and it's it's a rebroadcast of his podcast, and you can find his podcast, brand new podcasts, and all the past ones if you don't want to wait till Friday.
Yeah.
By going to,
You can go to, I would recommend right now, go to idon'tdothat.buzzsprout.com. That's the original one. And we got our own website where they're going up a little bit later also. So that's at ochotunes.com.
That's what I was just going to say. You can go to ochotunes.com.
Yeah, or it's also I don't do that podcast.com takes you to the same place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like me, where you have a lot of the .coms that you
Yeah,
that you need.
a few of them. It
like
makes sense too. sometimes.
FuzzTalkShop.com, FuzzTalkRadio.com,
Yeah.
FuzzJockRadio.com, DaggerRadio.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go to ochotunes.com.
Yeah.
Or I don't do that.com.
I don't do that podcast.com.
Okay, podcast.com. And you can check out his new podcast.
Yeah, I'm talking to people about things they don't do. So
Something that's really awesome about Ocho that I think as well. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mention that this was a part of the sections. So while I talk about this, think of something awesome about Ocho.
Done.
One of the awesome things about Ocho is that with all the music and all the different activities that Ocho gets themselves into, they also encourage other people to play music or to sing or to do other activities like do a podcast. I'm sure I'm sure you talk to a lot of people that do podcasts, right?
yeah. No, man, that's always been part of my mission, and you're speaking to my heart right now because I never thought that this is for anything special, man. Like there's a bunch of TV shows where people are supposed to judge who's better at this and that, and I don't see it that way. I just see like we're all playing in the sandbox, and it's not a thing you judge. It's not a thing you give awards for or
Exactly.
have battles about the bands or something like that. No.
One of the things that we talk about, guys, right, is that just create. Right? Like don't worry about not creating or being bad at creating.
It's so joyful and rewarding just to do. Yeah.
And so Ocho is a very big that's one awesome thing that I think of Ocho when I think of Ocho is that they're a very big advocate of getting people on stage or getting them out of their comfort zone to try something new and try to be creative. And I see that happening with quite a lot of people that surround themselves around you. C-Dubs, you had something?
Yeah, so I actually have a story from a long time ago when I would have been probably just starting high school. I saw Ocho play at the fill-in station, and that was one of my first shows. Because like I seen Olsen Twins Suicide, and that was another inspiration of wanting to do music. But I saw Ocho doing music, and he was doing a cover of a rap song, but with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's flipping the script. I love this. And
what was it? Do you remember?
I will say,
was it Nelly or Eminem or like who was it?
It was Nelly.
Okay, yeah.
But you were one of the main starting inspirations of me to want to get involved in music, and it was many years before I ever did. But I give it to not just the artists I copied, stole it from, but like you and Olsen Twin Suicide got me into doing music in Mankato. I would have never probably done music if I had not seen you or Olsen Twin Suicide.
That's amazing.
So you're to blame.
I'm so happy that I am. You know, I can't think of a greater honor than to inspire you. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm just
Yeah.
happy it was there.
J-Man,
What about inspiring me? Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be a greater honor?
was there inspiration that happened with Ocho and you?
No, I was more inspired by what C-Dubs was saying.
No, that's right.
It was very inspiring, C-Dubs. One thing that's really cool about Ocho, maybe not a lot of people know this, maybe the right people know this, but he once resided under a great dragon tree.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean by that?
This is the tree that was a dragon? We had a dragon tree.
We had a tree. We were housemates, and we had a tree outside that was a dragon. I mean,
Literally.
we could go there right now, but we'd be trespassing.
Could you get on the dragon and fly away?
No, it just like watched over us.
Oh, cool. Okay.
You could also have seen it as a giant chicken, but because of its size, it was obviously a dragon.
Obviously a dragon.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, didn't dragons evolve into chickens?
Yeah.
think.
I think
Or
so.
trees.
Or that too.
trees.
Yeah.
So there you go.
We'll say.
I gotta say, it's really nice talking about Ocho, and I just want to make sure that the audience members know who we're having as a guest tonight. But this is not a let's shoot some smoke up Ocho's ass type of podcast. This
Can it
is is that the right? I think that's right. Right?
It's gonna
that's
be.
the right.
It's gonna be.
Right? So is that the right phrase? Smoking. We're I don't know where I'm going with this. We're a sports podcast.
Are you ready for some football?
And we just had a lot of football happening tonight, right?
We got to prove it now that we are.
C-dubs, right?
I mean, there was college football.
What Monday Night Football, right?
No Monday Night Football.
What are you talking about? It's Monday. There's Monday Night Football. The NFL puts on Monday Night
It
Football
was a
games,
night
right?
for a while.
They let us down this week.
What? They did not play a game again?
No.
They weren't ready for some football.
No, I guess they weren't ready
ready
for some
for
football. Last week it was it was determined that they couldn't play because Hamlin got hurt, and it sounds like that there's more information on Hamlin. And it looks like on field he's the player that
He had a heart attack.
had a heart attack.
Cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of playing, and that was really hard to have the show right after that because we had no idea what was going on with him, and none of the people in the stands or any of his players or anybody knew. And it ended up had a cardiac arrest right on field, and sounds like he's doing better, right? Is that, we've heard.
Was
He was discharged from the hospital today.
Oh, that better.
He's with his family. So
it's wonderful.
he's on injured reserve for the rest of the season, so he won't be playing. But that's okay. He better take care of himself. That's more important.
Much better.
So-
Much better.
Yeah,
it's
doing good.
Yeah, that's been a very tumultuous ride the entire way, and glad that part of his journey and his family is over. So
Yeah. And he's a kind person too.
Very.
Charitable.
Wonderful
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
sounds like.
It sounds like it. He put together, like when he first got into the NFL, he put together a GoFundMe, right? For
a toy drive.
not for himself, for like a toy drive, right? And then just had that open, for anybody to donate while he's being in an NFL career. I'm guessing, thinking that being such a big name, he's trying to use his platform for the better
To help kids in his community. Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah. I heard from Star McKenzie that $8.5 million was donated to that since he's had his heart attack. So.
Holy shit! Amazing. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Silver lining.
I was surprised to see the Washington Commanders
Yep.
donated $5,000, and everyone was like, "That's not very much, but that's okay." But then single people who are not $8 billion companies have been donating $5,000 as well. So it's very good to see people outpouring support for it. Just regular old people.
One of the not regular, so regular people, Chris Jericho, the Ocho, he donated $5,000. I saw as well, and then notice that he misspelt his name, so he donated another $5,000 with the correct spelling of his name.
He misspelled his own name.
Yeah.
Yep. Did you write a 9 or what?
It was like Crust Jericho or something like that. Yeah.
Put a U in.
Yeah.
And then, funnily enough, one of the big quarterbacks in the league, Matt Stafford, donated the same amount as Jericho did. So Jericho's really up there on the top of the donation list.
Oh, man.
That's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome to see people come out and help for a cause and stuff like that. Hopefully, was Hamlin a part of the Bills? Was he on the? Is he on the Bills? I also know that the Bills fans,
Yes.
every place that they go play, the Bills fans find a charity and donate to a charity in that location. So when they come to Minnesota, they'll find a charity to donate.
Yeah.
And then when they go to California, they'll go, donate to a certain charity. And, they're from Buffalo, New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they also, they've historically also donated to causes that people who take them out of the playoffs sometimes they'll donate to their causes, and it's like that's the person that ended their season and they still want to give back.
I never
Like
thought
if a
this
kicker
would
kicks
be
the
so,
field goal to win,
This is so
they donate
warm
to
and
that field
fuzzy
goal
right
kickers
now.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing. I was thinking competitive sports. I'm coming in with a complete lack of knowledge of any of this stuff. I didn't think that we'd all be feeling so good and talking about kindness and charity and you guys being so complimentary towards me. Like, you really lifted me up, and this is amazing. Just wanted to say it.
welcome
Testify.
to FuzzJockRadio.
Cheers.
But okay, so
Yeah.
the Hamlin's deal is not the reason why there was no Monday Night Football, right? Though
No,
this week.
at the end of the season, they don't do a Monday night game.
Oh, it's
'cause They
playoffs
want
now.
everything decided Sunday.
Yeah, everybody's done with
So
the season.
Everything was done.
Yeah, season's over.
Sunday
Season's
was the
done.
last game, and then so there was no game today.
Yep.
That's how the week works. It starts on Monday, goes to Sunday, and then it ends, and then goes depending on what calendar you look at. But like Monday comes after Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that the season's done, there's got to be playoffs. And let's talk about. Well, first off, maybe talk about the Vikings on Sunday. How did they do, James?
They played against the Bears, I believe, and won.
Yeah.
They had already clinched the season, but
So
did that help their seed at all?
I
'cause
don't know.
It gave them a chance for a better seed.
Yeah. Okay.
But they
a
did not
chance.
get it.
Mhm, yeah.
Okay, so they
I
didn't get
gotcha.
the extra seed. So that means that they are playing at home or away, or
Yes, they're playing at home against the Giants.
they're playing home against the Giants. Okay,
Are we
so,
still over-explaining things? Because I don't know about seed.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, we love to.
All right, thanks.
Okay, thanks for
Yep.
letting questioning. Throwing out the question. A seed, Charlie, is when
The seeds are the positioning on the playoffs that they get. It's like 1 through 7.
Mm-hmm.
So they are like, if you have the best record in the league, you would be the first seed.
Okay.
And the first seed gets a bye week.
Okay. They get a break.
And then the second seed will play the lowest seed. So like the 7th and the 2nd will play each other.
Uh-huh.
And then it keeps going like that until you hit the middle.
Okay.
So a seed basically is the place in line in the bracket.
Yes.
And what's that bracket looking like?
That's a good question. Let me pull it up.
I tried to look for a bracket. They didn't show me.
I thought
I
one
think
of
the
us had it.
NFL is hiding it.
I thought one of us had it.
They're hiding it.
So
I swear.
Well, they just decided it like late last night. They decided to order the seeds. I mean, they knew it, but they didn't reveal it until late.
So the wild card weekend, January 14th, 15th, and 16th, we got Seattle Seahawks at San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants at the Minnesota Vikings, and then the Dallas Cowboys at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then the AFC, we have Miami Dolphins versus Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens versus Cincinnati Bengals, and Los Angeles Chargers versus Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep.
So that's...
And then Kansas City is on a bye week for AFC,
Okay.
and the Eagles are on a bye week for the NFC.
And then a bye week is when the first week of playoffs, the team that's on a bye week doesn't have to play the first week. They get to skip it and go to the second week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I wanted to point out from my friend Star McKenzie, too, that there's no Green Bay Packers on that list.
there is no.
Correct.
They lost yesterday,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Yeah.
All they had to
and-
do was win,
Yep.
but the Lions beat them.
And the Lions apparently didn't have any real incentive to win anyway because they weren't going to go to the playoffs anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Seattle Seahawks needed to lose earlier in the day for the Lions to be competitive, and they didn't care. They were like, you know what? We're going to do a favor for Geno Smith and the Seahawks, and we're going to beat the crap out of the Packers.
And they did.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
sure.
did.
So
It makes Minnesotans happy.
Yeah, it does.
Minnesotans.
It makes
Talking to
Lion
the
fans happy too, because lately they've been beating the Packers pretty well, consistently, like they've never done before.
whoa, sorry, I was going crazy there. I wasn't trying to.
Dude, that is impromptu trivia time?
No, we'll wait till the end of the.
Oh, okay.
it's something to look forward to, audience. If you haven't ever got to the end of our episodes, we have this thing called Fuzzy Memory Trivia, where I ask the guests a question, and then they answer that question with an answer. And they get points for those correct answers and 0 points for the incorrect answers. But that's at the end of the episode.
Stay tuned.
I think...
I wanted to bring up something about the Lions game.
Okay.
So everyone knows the Lions who are football fans because of the 90s. They had a running back called Barry Sanders.
Sure.
And he ran the football really well, and everyone considered him one of the GOATs. He was like the best running back for a very long time. They have a running back this year, Jamal Williams, who's one of the best personalities in the NFL, who beat Barry Sanders' record for the team in rushing yards. And they interviewed him after the game, and he's such a sweetheart. I love this guy. His great-grandfather had just passed away, and he was really emotional, and he dedicated it to him, and said some really beautiful things about just loving his grandfather and all this great-grandfather and all this stuff.
Awesome.
He's just great. But another thing from that game was when they do the interviews they pull up the names and they're like, I'm this guy from this college or whatever, and they move on to the next offensive player. He did a Naruto character and said what area of Naruto he was from, which is an anime. And I thought that was really funny that he did not take that seriously. He did not say his own name, and he did not say the college he went to. He said
That's
a
really cool.
cartoon character's name and where that cartoon character came from.
I like when they do goofy stuff like that.
He even wore the Naruto headband.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the Naruto
That guy's
character
awesome. I love him.
beat Barry Sanders' record.
Yeah, Naruto.
Yes.
That makes sense because Naruto can run very fast, right?
Yeah, that's what I hear about.
Right.
You don't even have to be serious to beat Barry Sanders. No.
Apparently.
No.
Yeah, if you ever want to find some good interviews, look up Jamal Williams interviews. He brings up SpongeBob. He brings up all sorts of cartoons and weird shit whenever he's interviewed. He's fantastic. I love him.
Hockey time.
Let's play hockey.
Yeah. The Wild are currently 22, 14, 3, and 39.
Well, 39 is how many points they have.
Oh,
39 points
Well,
for,
yeah,
the,
but
for the...
Do people say that? Say it that way, maybe?
Usually, they leave out the points.
Okay. Well, 22, 4, but the points are the most
That's
important.
yeah.
I don't know
Aren't
what
they?
any of the numbers mean.
Okay, so 22 is wins. 14 is losses.
Yep.
3 is ties.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
And then
No.
No?
no? Oh, I'm
3 is overtime losses
3 is overtime losses.
Okay. Okay.
because you get a point if you lose in overtime.
Okay, and then the points come in from what happens during the games. So like if you lose in overtime, you get what?
1 point,
If you win, you get what?
2 points,
If you lose, you get what?
0 points.
If you tie, is there a tie?
There's no ties.
Okay, so that's, and then if you win in overtime,
You get the same amount of win as a win.
so 2 points. So you can, is that all the ways you can earn points?
Yep.
You don't get points for scores or goals?
Scores are part of tiebreakers.
How do they have 39 points with 22
Or wait.
wins then?
No,
So if that'd
Use
be 22
three.
times
I'm
2 for
confused. I think I
44
confused
points.
myself.
Fuzzy math. This is what we do in this show.
Yeah, dude.
A lot
Some
of
of-
fuzzy math.
That was a good observation. I was not prepared to make. That's
I
sweet.
don't understand. I thought I understood this.
no, it is 2 points.
2
I
points.
don't understand.
You confused me there, James.
Okay, so 2 points. 2 points for wins, and 1 point for overtime loss. And they have 22 wins and 3 overtime losses. So that's 22 times 2 is 44,
47.
47. So that's 47 points. And how do they have 39 points?
I'm confused now. Yeah, wait, what's going on?
Someone's taking our
Google.
points.
It's
We might need to-
Naruto, I think.
We might need to look into this a little bit off camera here. This is why we'd like to have a producer. If anybody is looking to become a producer of FuzzJock Radio, you can email us at fuzzjockradio@gmail.com. There is no pay. and you just be doing it for the fun of it.
A lot of love, though.
A lot of love.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So with the 22 and 14, that looks like we're getting half. Are we halfway
About halfway through
the season? So playoffs are going to start coming up here soon.
Well, in the May.
In May.
Yeah,
Okay.
like when
Well,
we come back.
halfway.
for the next season.
Halfway. Do you get points for losses? Maybe that's what it is. If you know, FuzzJocker out there, you could go to our Discord and let us know. We do have a Discord now.
I love our Discord.
So if you want to go to our Discord, go to fuzztalkradio.com and click on the Discord link.
It's a fun place
Never
to be.
mind. 39 how many games they played.
Oh, so they've played 39 games. That makes sense.
Yeah.
They
They have 126 points.
Oh, yeah. 22
No, that's not right.
plus
They have
14 plus
47
3.
points. 47 points. Now I'm reading the goals as 4.
Okay. 22,
brackets all good.
22,
So many numbers.
14
You said
plus 3
47.
plus 39.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
how
nailed
many
it.
how many points do we got now? 47?
47.
47 points. We are
That's what I
correct.
said.
Yeah.
But that's yeah, okay. So J-Mez is right. Okay.
I was right here.
And we're in third
J-Mez is
place.
correct.
Yep. J-Mez is correct.
Third
So that's
place.
really good.
Should we
Playoffs started today. We'd be ready to go.
should we move on?
Yeah.
Should we move on?
Let's move on.
Yeah, there'll be more.
Too much math.
We all know what that sound means, or what this jingle is. It's time for the
Buzz question of the week.
This is when I ask the Hess a question, and then they answer the question with a yes or a no or a one-word answer, or they just answer. Well, no, that's not how it goes. I ask. Part of it goes correctly is I can't speak.
Yeah.
Explanation with no extrapolation.
Yeah, there's an
Okay.
explanation with no extrapolation with these with this Buzz question of the week. I ask a question and then you answer it and then we move on.
Sure.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Sometimes no,
Short
we move
answer.
on. That's how it works.
you ready for
No, we already talked about football.
We are not ready for
With the Buzz question of the week this week is
What is it?
I'm wondering.
Edge of my seat.
let's move on to basketball. Let's move on to basketball. Let me think about that. I
NBA theme. Here's an idea. It goes like this.
Did we answer your question about points in with hockey?
Yeah, pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah. It gave me
There was a lot of
In a
numbers
roundabout
I
way.
went through out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it gave me a foundation of what that meant. Yeah.
Okay. They don't mean a lot, but they mean a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a degree to which I actually care to figure out the nuances of this. You know, it's that degree is not very many degrees.
Well, with the Timberwolves, well, go ahead.
I was supposed to say one more thing with points that's also confusing in hockey
Oh yeah.
is there's individual points too. So you can get points in a game that don't count to the points of the team.
Okay.
So a player can get a point for an assist
Oh.
or a goal.
Yeah.
And
But they add up, but they're not part of the points that equal
But
the winning
But
record.
it helps them get new contracts for
exactly.
other teams, right?
Okay.
Or in the
So
future.
they're just playing a big RPG, and then
Pretty much, yeah. Basketball, they do not deal with points. I mean, they deal with points. By
They do with a lot of points. What
Yeah,
do you mean?
their scores are usually like 126 to like
Yeah.
30. For
those are all points.
yeah,
that's why people like me like basketball, because they score a lot and the ball goes back and forth a lot. It keeps us entertained, you know.
Yeah.
Like being ignorant of sports, it's like, oh yeah, it's a bunch of stuff happening. Oh, there's another point. Like you can like get into it, but like baseball, nothing happens.
You know what you should get
Football,
into?
nothing happens. What?
Cricket.
cricket.
All right.
Cricket is great.
Is it a mad
They score
dash
like
or what?
300 points a game.
Woo!
Each team.
They must
So
be
it can
really
be like
good.
382 to 322.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah, you got to be really good to get that many points.
And
those guys are all crazy.
and it can
good.
last all day. Sometimes they last all week. And you, as a fan, you can bring a picnic basket and blanket and have a picnic on the field.
There's
and
like
watch
a
them all.
week-long cricket match. What?
Yeah,
5 days.
5 days.
Oh
It's
man,
8 hours a day.
I had no idea. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Cricket's amazing.
It's one of the awesome sports that a lot of people don't know about or don't. But you can take your family.
They don't even think about it.
You don't even think about it. But you can take it's like an excursion. You know, it's like a family event to go to a cricket game.
Yeah, it's a little vacation. Like you take a few days, your holiday, as they say.
Yeah. And then they have tea breaks as well.
Yeah.
They make sure they get those in.
They do.
You're gonna be there till Thursday next.
Yes. Yeah.
But they actually have tea break, lunch break, and drinks break.
Nice.
3 breaks a game.
That reminds me of the Lord of the Rings. You know, they have like second breakfast and stuff.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I propose we start living a little bit more like that, having second breakfasts.
Yeah.
And
So you gotta
chilling.
get it for
Nothing's
yourself.
stopping you.
Yeah.
This is the great thing.
This is we're on the same way.
I try to have like 3 or 4 breakfasts a day.
Oh,
It's-
well,
right?
yeah.
comfort food, like you're talking about. Like, yeah.
FuzzJockRadio.
The NBA theme, here's an idea. It goes like this.
So the Timberwolves
FuzzJockRadio.
are currently 46-36. They're doing better than they were. They've been hovering at 50% for quite some time. And that's about all I have for the Timberwolves this week. I didn't really watch
right.
much
My
of
friend
them.
Star McKenzie tells me they came back. They were down by over 20 points against the Rockets, and they came back to win.
Oh, nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Was that yesterday's game or?
it must have been. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Good.
it's all here.
Sounds like they did a lot of looking around and communicating.
Yeah, that's what you need to do
That's
in
what
basketball.
that team does. I love the Timberwolves so much. But I also found a really cool, well, I thought a little cool basketball story, probably unrelated. You ever heard of Brian Scalabrine? He used to
No.
play for the Boston Celtics, I believe.
I have not.
Okay. Well, apparently, as the story goes, he was kind of noted to be the worst player in the NBA. Right? Just
Okay.
never put up points. Didn't have really great stats, or rather. Usually, just like not even that great on the bench. So the story goes that people would try to challenge him one-on-one and being like, "Oh, I'm so cool. I can beat the worst guy in the NBA. This guy stinks."
Right.
So he's picked on too, is what you're saying?
Yeah, a little bit like this
Okay.
guy in the
By
NBA.
common folks,
Yeah.
civilians.
Yeah.
Well, at least he got into the NBA.
Right.
Right.
It's so hard.
And he would smoke everyone.
Of course.
One-on-ones? He
Obviously.
would beat everybody?
Yeah.
Of
no,
course
yeah.
he did.
Oh,
I think he's good at defense.
I mean, when he's playing any these hot shots who think they're better than the worst guy in the NBA,
so
Right?
like regular people.
regular people
Oh,
would challenge him
challenge
to
him.
one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying other NBA stars were picking on him and challenging
No.
him one-on-one. Okay.
No.
Wow. And
So-
so then he could kick their ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's regular people.
Yeah,
And
regular
there was
people.
even a point that a local radio station like held a contest to find like 5 regular good average people, good athletes that aren't in the NBA.
Yeah.
And found people played NCAA Division I stuff.
Yeah.
Even lower end professionals. 5 of them won this contest to play him one-on-one. He smoked all of them too.
Of course.
Awesome.
And he had this quote. It's like, "I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me."
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
quote.
That's badass.
LeBron James
Yeah.
is one of the best, if maybe in a lot of contentions. It's either him or Michael Jordan.
Right.
Michael Jordan was a basketball player in the 90s that played
yeah.
for the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, yeah.
And he was considered the GOAT, and GOAT we all know means greatest of all time. And LeBron James just recently came through. Most recently in the basketball history, and now people are thinking that he may be the GOAT. And just explaining to the FuzzJockers who LeBron James might be.
He's a character in a fighting video game.
He is also a character in a fighting video game. Yeah.
I've played it.
So that's an awesome... I am closer to LeBron James, the GOAT, than you are to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
essentially. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it came up in this context of like putting some things in perspective.
You sort of wonder from a subjective point of view, like the psychology of it. Would you rather be the worst guy in the best category in the NBA, or would you rather be the best guy
We
among a
all
bunch of
know
people who aren't
what
that good?
sound means, or what this jingle is. It's time for the
Fuzz question of the week.
Hey guys, I remember what the fuzz question of the week was.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm going to take it from Ocho, okay?
for it, yeah.
If that's okay with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
It's a great one. Would you rather be the best of the worst or the worst of the best? C-dubs.
Worst of the best.
Jamez.
Worst of the bever. I don't know.
Ocho.
Man.
I would love to be the best of the worst, no doubt.
And that's your...
Fuzz question of the week.
I'm a stump.
That was a great fuzz question of the week. I love it. We should maybe write that one down for later.
I don't want to be either. Get me nowhere
It's like that
near
big
any
fish,
of it.
little pond type thing.
Yeah. You're in a biggie old pond right now, C-dubs. You're in the biggest pond out there.
You are.
And almost literally, because it's like flash floods out here right now. So I walked out of my house to come down here to the studio, and the streets like completely flooded. So literally, I'm in a big pond.
Oh, so
That's a big pond of LA.
that's the thing going on. That is,
It'd be a big pond here if it was about 20 degrees warmer.
I am really sorry to all the audience members that we left them outside for such a long time. In that rain.
Well, Benny, they say.
Oh man, I can't push this button. So the
Gonna get some wet applause.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball's fun.
basketball is fun. That just reminds me that also what is fun is listening to Fuzz Talk Radio.
It is.
There are other shows other than Fuzz Jock Radio on Fuzz Talk Radio. You can listen to Dagger Radio every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Fuzz Talk Radio, of course, Fuzz Jock Radio, of course, which is us at 10:30 p.m. on Monday nights. Dagger Radio again on Tuesday at 7 p.m. And it's a different show from Sunday because it's a live show. And I don't know how Chuck does that. Goes from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. But he does it. Then Wednesdays we have our new show. This is a radio show with This is Perfect Harmony ladies, Alicia Grace and Jenna and Brittany. And then on Thursdays we have The Rabbit Hole at 8 p.m. to 11 p.m.
That show's so good.
And which is Ryan Rude and his brother. Ryan's part of the Rockford Mules from the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. And then on Friday, we have the brand new Ocho show, the rebroadcast of I Don't Do That with Ocho. Yeah. And that's going to be on Fridays at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So make sure to tune in to FuzzTalkRadio.com.
Full week.
And if you want to support Fuzz Talk Radio, you can always go to FuzzTalkShop.com or FuzzJockShop.com and purchase a t-shirt or a hoodie or a sticker or some socks or, some merchandise. And all that money goes back to Fuzz Talk Radio so we can make sure that this program keeps going without any advertisements, which is just what we just did. Yeah. So we'll move on to...
Baseball is fun again in Minnesota.
Baseball is not fun again in Minnesota.
It will be soon.
Well, it will be soon. But currently it is not fun in Minnesota because, as we all know, why is that, audience? Because we don't play baseball in the winter. Right? Because, if you went and played baseball in the winter, it would, the ball wouldn't go too far when it would hit the...
It would hurt.
It would hurt.
Can you imagine having to, shovel your run path to first base, after you hit the pitch, and then having to throw your bat, and pick up a shovel, and shovel your way to first base.
Shoveling 90 feet.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't want to do that. It sounds like really cold too.
Yeah.
Stand out there in the.
You could probably get it done before they found the ball in the snow and threw it back, though. So that's how you get on base.
Yep.
Can you imagine getting hit with that ball? With it being that cold? Oh.
You have to wear your snowsuit though.
Oh, you would.
So
Yeah.
But, even without playing baseball, the Twins are up to some fun for the winter.
Oh, Winterfest.
Yeah,
is coming,
Winterfest is coming.
right?
Yeah.
When's that coming?
I have not
Is that
seen any.
February usually.
That sounds right.
Did we go to it in February that one time that we went before the
Yeah,
COVID
because I
seasons
think
came?
that was like right after our season ended.
Has there been Winterfest prior or since COVID?
I think they
Did
did
I
I
have
last
think
one
year.
it's
last
usually
year?
February.
I think it's usually February.
They might have done one last.
So we should be having an update soon if we
Yeah.
don't know now, right?
No, it is coming again, and I just haven't seen official dates and locations yet.
To our town.
Well, that's why I haven't seen the locations and
Oh,
dates yet.
oh yeah, you're saying that.
But they've announced like a list of a bunch of players that will be out and about
Cool.
at different locations,
So,
past and present.
Winterfest, if you people don't know, is when the Twins go to different towns in Minnesota, and then they have the thing called Winterfest where they meet and greet with the fans and talk about the season coming up and do some autograph signings and do some
question
giveaways
answer.
and question answers and it's a nice little fest that
Yeah.
the Twins do right before the spring training starts.
Yeah.
I met Kirby Puckett at one in the past
Very cool.
when I was a kid. It was really cool.
So, just to bring up the old player again, because I mean, I don't know if we really need to talk about Correa anymore because it's like from the last time we talked about him, I think the Mets got him right.
Oh no, they're still in negotiations, trying to rework something, and there's not really any news other than what appears to be a lot of speculation coming from rumor mills that just maybe there was a long time where news about Correa seemed to just be getting pushed from a source from Correa's agent to leverage teams and put the hot seat on him. So
Well,
can I recap real quick?
yeah.
So Carlos Correa is a shortstop for the Minnesota Twins. That's pretty revered. He's a good hitter, very good at defense.
He's an all-star player for
He's
sure.
an all-star player, one of the best, right?
Yeah.
And he signed for the Twins for one season, for a good chunk of money. We're actually pretty surprised that we got him because the owners of the Twins don't like to spend a whole lot of money.
Sure.
They're ones that they're the type of people that like to judge people by their shoes,
They care a lot about shoes. Way
do.
too much.
They do.
Way
Oh,
too much about
yeah.
shoes.
And so we had him for this all-star shortstop for one season. Then he went up to free agency, which is when a player doesn't we got him for 1 year, and then he goes into free agency where a player is just available for any team to offer him money, and then he could go to that team.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in free agency in the off season this year, Carlos was offered a big chunk of money from the San Francisco Giants. So he's going to be headed to warm weather, good chunk of money. The Twins were like, that's too much that we don't want to pay for that.
Sure.
So he looks like he's going to San Francisco.
Yep.
And then he's in San Francisco and gets a medical done. Or physical done, right? Because he, as player, the new team needs to make sure that he's good to go, and they're about to do a news conference on acquiring Carlos Correa. And then right before the news conference, the day of the news conference, his physical.
Well, they just they announced that, hey, we're gonna postpone the conference. Actually,
Yeah, on our end, on the fans' end, they're like, we're going to actually postpone this.
yeah,
And
so we're
everybody's
not gonna
like,
reel him. What's going on?
Why not? And then it comes out that something in his physical came back that they questioned. And then now they're not really sure if they want to go in on the deal. So instead of doing a news conference and saying that we went on the deal,
They
they're-
kind of balked on it.
they're like, nah, maybe not.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the New York Mets are like, yo, if you're not going to take this guy, we'll offer about the same amount of money, but one less year.
Yep.
So he makes more money that way, right?
Sure.
So he's like, okay, we're gonna go over to the Mets.
And then, what?
The Mets are like,
Physical again? Or?
maybe we don't really want this guy either.
Yeah.
But then they
What's
didn't.
going on?
But then they didn't do it correctly. Where the owner like came out to the news and said before they even did the physical, "Hey, we're getting him." So there might have been like a legal leeway where it's like, well, they definitely don't want him, but they maybe now have to take him.
They're obligated somehow.
Because the owner publicly said that they are
Sure,
taking
sure.
him. So now that there's a legal ness with that, right? And that's where we left. And so we're like, yo.
So it's still up for debate.
Well, and I don't know how much any of the what the owner said has come to fruition or has been argued. I think everything is just kind of, since then, it's been known to be in renegotiation.
Right. And
Okay.
as of yesterday, one of his friends went on a podcast.
Who's
and
friends?
said,
Well, the owner?
Correa's friends.
Oh, Korea's friends. Okay. Went on a podcast.
Said it's almost guaranteed he's going to sign as a Met.
Okay.
And then just 40 minutes ago, can I get the breaking news sounder?
Oh my!
This just happened. I just got the update on my phone.
Go. Breaking news. Go.
The Twins are back in negotiations and talking to Correa currently.
What?
What? The
Like
Twins
this
are
minute?
Might be
The
picking them up
Athletic
now?
just reported they are talking to Correa again.
They're just toying with us. This is all set up.
No, I think
think
they're
so.
toying with the Mets.
I think they're toying
that's-
with the Mets too.
That's all heat for the Mets.
So then
That's
maybe
my
the Mets
take.
pay a little bit more.
Well, just to get the Mets to just agree,
Make it happen.
Make it happen. Sign.
Wow.
Don't miss out.
So we're not done. We're not done with the
Not
This is
over
a
yet.
conspiracy.
We should be done, but we're not.
We're not.
Conspiracy
I don't even want it
dubs.
Oh, been there.
Well, the thing is with Carlos Correa too is that we weren't really sure if we wanted him, and you're like, but he's an all-star. Why wouldn't you want him?
Right.
Well, the team that he's coming from were big ass cheaters. The Houston Astros cheated to win the World Series, and it came out like that
Yeah.
he was part of the scheme of the cheating Astros.
Oh,
But we looked past that and got this all-star.
that's even more intrigue. This is like one of those movies I don't like because it feels like a quiz, like one of those mystery movies. There's way too much going on, and I gotta keep
It's
track
getting
of it.
that way.
And then at the end, they tell you what happens, and it's never what you thought was going to happen.
Oh, one of those bait and switch
I
movies.
hate that.
One thing I find odd, though, is that with the initial San Francisco occasion and then the postponing of that conference, and it was like days, and all of a sudden we're shifted to Mets. Now, the big news of them starting to be like, oh, I don't know about this, that was right before Christmas. And they're like, we're kind of on hold for the holidays and such. So I don't know, man. It's been a couple weeks now since they should have been. I think it's odd.
The Giants are definitely out though.
Well, the Giants, yeah. No, he's not going there. But I think it's very odd that the Mets have sat on it for 2 weeks and
Yeah.
seemingly. But
And then now the Twins are going to get them back.
that's the hopium.
That's a lot of money.
That's the
That's a
hopium.
lot of money that they could be using for other things,
Sure.
Like pitching.
like pitching.
Yeah.
Or other players.
I'd love to see him in a Twins uniform again. But
I mean, yeah.
I think it's the
played well.
hopium. I think it's the hopium saying that there's a chance.
The hopium.
Yeah. That's my take on baseball.
Why can't we talk about other topics?
So this is when I don't know that was made by our
Beloved regular.
beloved regular Eric Blake. Breb, we call him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Eric, but
I don't know if I do.
He was in Goodnight Goldust as the bass player.
Oh, yeah, Eric, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so
He's a beloved regular.
Yeah.
other news, other sports, New Japan Wrestling. We just watched Wrestle Kingdom with New Japan Wrestling.
Kingdom, wow.
It was the match with Kenny Omega and
Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay, and was the main event match. And oh my goodness, that was such a good match. They got a score of 6.5.
What? Not 7? Are you kidding me? That's an outrage.
Well,
There's only 1 7.
and the scale only goes up to 5. So
yeah,
the Meltzer.
That match was.
Yeah, there's this
Okay.
pro
Give it
wrestling
6.5.
reviewer. There's this pro wrestler reviewer called Dave Meltzer, and he has a 5-star review.
Okay.
And there's been many times now that he's gone over the 5 stars, and he has 6.5 matches, 7 stars, 1 7-star though. So it's almost like it's a 7-star review now, right?
Yeah, I mean, if that's the limit, I mean, that's what everyone's striving for, is to get a 7-star at this point.
But if you haven't seen that, the Wrestle Kingdom that was in the Tokyo Dome this last week, and the Japanese audience was allowed to cheer this time around, which has been the first time in
Were they
a very
not?
long time.
No, I heard that, and I was wondering, were they not allowed to cheer because people were like masked up, or was it a different reason that they didn't do that at their shows?
From what I understand, that wasn't part of the culture of their wrestling.
Okay.
Like, you just applauded.
Yep.
That's it. You'd applaud at stuff.
I would not guess that with some Japanese wrestlers.
Yeah,
They
you've
get
been to Japan, right?
really dramatic and
But what about the audience?
theatrical and
But they're not the ones that are clapping and cheering. What about the audience? Like, I don't know.
I mean, back in the day, like FMW, which was a really hardcore brand, people would go nuts.
And that was
people would get
and that was a Japanese
wild as shit.
That was a Japanese promotion.
That was a Japanese promotion where they'd like blow up the ring and they'd have barbed wire, all sorts of crazy stuff.
I'm like picturing some of the more anime-esque storylines they kind of build into the rivalries, and I just can't imagine some of those dramatic scenes not having the crowd get into it, and cheer. But
maybe we should look into that a little bit more.
Yeah,
bring up the
because New Japan is really good promotion for sure.
I love it. They also had a debut of
that's right,
ex-WWE wrestler who used to go by the name of Sasha Banks.
Yep.
She's now going by the name of Mercedes Moné.
Yeah. So Sasha Banks used to wrestle for WWE under the Vince McMahon era, and she got very upset with him. And was there racist undertones with all that? I mean, Vince is absolutely.
She saw it that way.
Okay. And if she sees it that way, then it's racist.
Because
we as white people are
was
not going to.
It was her and another
what's racist
black
and what's not
athlete,
racist.
Naomi, were the tag team champions, and they had nothing for them. No storylines, no booking, because Vince wasn't that interested in pushing them. And her reasoning was she thought it was racist.
And
he's racist. Because he is.
Because he is racist. He likes to say the N-word on national TV.
But she quit.
So she
Her
quit.
and Naomi quit as champions before a show.
Wow.
And
they walked out.
And then with the WWE, if you wrestle for WWE, you get into contract terms where there's no compete clauses.
Sure.
And she was under non-complete clause for a couple months, like 6 months maybe.
Yeah.
And so she hasn't wrestled in 6-7 months, and then now just showed up out of nowhere in New Japan Wrestling.
That's exciting.
It was great to see her back.
Yeah. She looked great.
Looked like her new look. Looks awesome. And then there are big rumors that she's going to show up in another wrestling promotion called AEW, which is the one that we like to consume quite a bit.
Sure.
The All Elite Wrestling, which is like the direct competition against WWE. And I'm thinking that she's going to show up through Little Bow Wow, because Little Bow Wow showed up in AEW a couple weeks ago for some odd reason, and what Cache Monet is that her name?
Yeah, Mercedes Monet.
Mercedes Monet. She is the cousin of Little Bow Wow and Snoop Dogg.
Oh.
And Snoop Dogg has been on AEW before. So I'm thinking since there's already an established canon with Snoop Dogg and Little Bow Wow that they would usher her into AEW.
Yeah, their family. It would make sense. Yeah. That's a good prediction.
I think I'm going to AEW this Wednesday. So I'll be at the Dynamite here in LA. And I think they're going to have a tag match where Saraya and Toni Storm are supposed to fight Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker. And they did a promo last week where Hikaru Shida, another women's wrestler, was sitting down with Saraya and Toni, and they kind of blew smoke up Tony's ass, but like left Shida out of the conversation. She was sitting right there, and she seemed really pissed off. So I think this Wednesday, she's going to jump Toni. And so Toni won't be able to compete, and they'll pull out Mercedes Monet to be Saraya's partner.
That'd be interesting.
Because I think they realized everyone knew what was going to happen and needed to swerve it.
So like they wanted to.
Dude, there you go.
They're worried that the fans knew the storyline already when they wanted it to be a secret, and so they're going to change it up a little bit to try to get everybody off the scent.
Just a thought I have.
Yeah.
Those are good. I never thought of that.
What's
They're
really
about to swerve Strickland it.
What's really neat about AEW is that they, like last year or so, they decided to open up the forbidden doors, what they called it.
Okay.
Where instead of just having their own wrestlers wrestle just each other like WWE's always done, like WWE has done it so much where you almost think that WWE is the only professional wrestling out there.
Sure.
When there's a bunch of other promotions out there
Right.
across the United States of a bunch of wrestlers wrestling each other. Well, the AEW is like, no, we're not going to just wrestle each other. Let's open up the forbidden door and have other promotions come in and wrestle us, and we'll go and wrestle them. So this New Japan Wrestle Kingdom, we said that Omega, and it was Omega versus Ospreay as the main match. Well, Ospreay is from New Japan Wrestling. And Omega is part of the AEW.
Okay.
And so Omega from AEW went to Japan, wrestled their top dog, and got the New Japan belt.
Woo!
So
That's exciting. It's exciting even if just that match happened, but then he gets the belt.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so
I love that, breaking conventions and doing new things. Like that's great.
it's wonderful to see it.
Yeah.
Did he have the New Japan belt before too, though?
And
right?
he has, and he has also been part of that promotion before.
Yes.
So that helps lubricate the
but at that time,
conversations that are happening, making sure that two promotions can work together, or two different companies.
yeah, there was the time that he held like 3 titles, and that he had it at that time, right?
Yes.
No, he was AAA.
It was triple.
Yeah, AAA, AEW,
AAA, Impact, and AEW.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So at one
New
point he
Japan
had 3
wasn't
belts.
through the Forbidden Door yet.
Yeah, and it's really cool. It's really cool, and they're also not racist like Vince was or is, and they're not homophobic like WWE tends to be. They have transgender wrestlers
it all
wrestling.
jives, like, because if you're open, you're open. You know, they're open to different people. They're open to different promotions.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
You never know who's going to show up.
Yeah.
and a lot of fun to watch.
The world is better when we're together.
I think so.
Together,
Exactly.
people. Yeah.
It's fun to watch,
Yeah. More
and
entertaining.
it's fun to watch together with friends.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other sports topics?
I wish I had cricket news, but I don't remember the outcomes of the
we
games
already
I
talked
watched.
about cricket a bit anyway, so
Yeah,
we got that. Jameis?
I was gonna mention that I started consuming a bunch of like AEW from 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, you have.
So like it's been kind of interesting in this perspective where like I'm the most knowledgeable of just like the most recent AEW storylines and characters, really. And just remember like bits from past episodes and recalling names and such. But yeah, they have like their series Dark that's like completely all on YouTube. And I went back to like the first episode, it's like 3 years ago, and it's really interesting to see like some of the greater, bigger stars right now doing like some of their first matches back then.
Yeah.
It's been fun and just seeing a lot more of the roster and how it's been built and growing.
I'm really excited for you to get to Brandon Cutler versus Peter Avalon.
Oh man,
They do a series of matches, and their last one is fantastic.
It's awesome to be into something and see somebody else just starting and just be like, man, I wish I could go back and relive all that excitement. That's really inspiring that you're discovering that.
Yeah, no, and it's fun. There's some nostalgic comfort too of like having watched like wrestling when I was a kid, and and I've always mentioned on this show too that I really enjoy the campiness and like the jokey parts, and
it's fun.
There's some great athleticism too, and also the showmanship it's just really entertaining.
It's a really good escape. It's a good escape.
I want to bring up, there's one character, Ocho. If you go out of here and you look up anything about wrestling from this conversation we're having, you should learn about a guy named Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy.
Yes, Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed.
All right.
He's the king of sloth style.
That sounds beautiful. Is he really slow?
He's a comedy wrestler who doesn't care. Oh, dude. So he tries not to wrestle.
He wears
but if he has to, he's really good.
And a jean jacket, and he just kind of like rolls into the ring and just like
Can't even
whatever.
lift his thumb up to give you a thumbs up.
Yeah, his thumbs up is like this.
But if he
doesn't
has
care.
to, he's really good.
Oh, he's amazing.
Oh, he's great.
He's currently a champion, actually.
It sounds like Sterling Archer,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about anything, and he doesn't even have to say it because he's just not even there. And then when the time comes, he's there and he does the thing exactly that no one else could do, and then he just checks out again.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's him. Yeah. He carries.
My favorite gimmick about him is as a champion. So in wrestling, it's all about pomp and circumstance and throwing your arms up in the air and showing off your belt, right?
Sure.
He doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Of course.
He puts his belt in a backpack and carries it to the ring hidden.
Yeah.
And then he pulls it out at the last second. He kind of like, there's the belt, and hands it to the referee. And then he wrestles.
He puts some of his moves are his hands in his pocket. He just puts his hands in his pockets, and then he kicks, barely kick.
Yeah. Like an
The crowd goes crazy for it.
Yeah.
And then every wrestler has a stable of characters that are backing him
like
up
a faction.
And faction.
They call them stables, huh?
The stable name is the Best Friends.
Nice.
And one of the moves when all three of them are together was Orange, Trent, and
Sexy Chuck T.
And Chuck T. One of their moves will be it's called you got to give everybody what they want, or
give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah.
And then all three of them, or two of them, or whoever's with them will they'll have Orange in the middle of the ring, and then all three of them will come up and all hug Orange, and then the camera pans out. It's just best friends giving each other a hug.
Well, that's
The Best Friends characters, they're basically children.
Yeah, they're just best friends. It's fun. It's like they're kids.
It's so much fun.
Are we ready to move on? Fuzzy memory
do it.
trivias?
Oh, wait.
I think it's
Is
time.
the song pretty good? Oh, yeah.
This is a fuzzy memory trivia when I ask the hosts a question and then they answer the question with an answer. And unlike fuzzy memory trivia, the answers have to be correct. There's only one answer, right? Like it's a true or not. It's you can't just make it up and be like, oh, that's real. And I'm like, no, that's not real. If you get the answer right, you get a point. If you get the answer wrong, you don't get a point.
Multi-dimensions
Yeah.
don't
Zero?
I think we're all at 0 still.
count. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're all at 0. So at one point, everybody tied up. And then we decided that since it's a tie, we're back to 0.
I like it.
Right? Okay, so in 1920, the University of Texas football players, and then you just yell out the answer, okay? 1920, the University of Texas football players had their mascot at the annual sports banquet under less than ideal circumstances. What were those circumstances?
It was stolen.
It was
Our hearts.
pig roast.
There was a fire.
This is a really long answer. Poor Bevo was, in a sense, the guest of honor. He had been fattened up, slaughtered, and served as the main course at the banquet. Kind of horrifying, right?
Pig roast.
Pig roast.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the university was short on cash, and shouldering the cost of tending a Bevo wasn't a top priority, since he was not tame enough to roam wild.
It was
They
a bad
ate
idea
all
to have
three
him in the
bull.
first place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was what a start
Yeah.
of this trivia. MJ's Michael.
Michael Jackson.
Who did Michael Jackson originally want to play for?
Michael Jackson. What?
Hornets.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
Did I say Jackson? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, Hornets.
Who did Michael Jordan originally want to play for?
The Hornets?
Your mother.
No.
Dang.
UCLA. He
Oh.
the Bruins never recruited him.
They're lost.
In May 2001, a member of the Cubs was intentionally walked a record 5 times by the Reds in an effort to break their record shared by Rogers Maris and Gary Templeton. Name that Cub.
Mark Grace.
Sammy Sosa.
It was, I got nothing.
Andre Dawson.
Oh.
Back in the day, ESPN college football analyst Lee Corso actually played college football. In the mid-50s, he attended Florida State and roomed with another notable Knowles player who could go on to be a ridiculously famous actor. Name that roomie.
Antonio Banderas.
O.J. Simpson.
Gillian Welsh.
Burton Leon Reynolds Jr., a.k.a. Burt Reynolds.
Whoa.
And that was...
Oh, wait. How does this song go again? Oh, yeah. Memory.
And that was Fuzzy Memory Trivia. We are still tied at 0-0-0. And
Ocho keeping up with us, man. He's right there with us.
and that brings us to the end of the episode. And this is when I ask everybody how's the week and how's everything looking for you there, Ocho? Like what do you got going on? Do you have anything else that you would like to bring up before we move on to the end?
I'd just like to say there's a lot of things in this podcast that remind me that there's so many more things that people don't do. Like maybe you don't show off your belt. Maybe you don't cheer at your wrestling event. And my mind is just, since I've been doing my podcast, like it's wired to notice things that people don't do.
Oh, sure.
And it's a gift. That's all I can say. Like and I encourage people to nurture that in themselves. Notice like the absence of things when you don't do something or somebody abstains from something, because I think we learn a lot about each other. That's it.
So
I like that.
if you want to hear Ocho explore those ideas of not doing anything or not doing things, go to idon'tdothatpodcast.com or ochotunes.com and you can find his podcast.
Yep, there's a new episode out tomorrow. I don't drive a car.
Ooh.
Yep, there's it's a woman from the Chicago area in her mid-70s, and she gave up driving at 75.
You should talk to Dylan. He doesn't drive a car either.
I would love to. I'll talk to 20 people that don't drive a car. I think everybody's story is really valuable, and different in its own way, unique.
Something that I noticed listening was that it really, and you mentioned it a couple times too, that it's not your intention of the podcast to do this, but people when you start talking to them about something that they don't do, they really start digging deep into their psyche of why they don't do that. And like, if some of them are like, maybe I should, like the soup guy,
Yeah.
like there's a guy that doesn't eat soup.
But
So then you went over like, well, what type of foods do you eat?
Yeah.
And then if you add that into a soup, will you eat it after you add it to the soup, like chicken? Like, right? Like,
What if it's in the soup and then you take it out of the soup and
Yeah.
just let it sit there for a minute? Would you eat it then? Like, and he's like, yeah, I suppose. And then, you know, when you get to what is it that you actually don't eat, and we get into the finer points and the nuances, he did say, he's like, this is making me want to try soup now.
yeah, that's where I was getting to too. Yeah, it's just neat. It's really neat because it ends up being kind of like a lesson or kind of like a psychology type of thing going on a little bit.
Little journey we all go on.
Without you trying to, people dive in more into their story.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
It's all about just becoming familiar with yourself, and you really don't know what you're going to find. Like,
Yep.
maybe it seems to be that it serves as a catalyst. So most of the times it solidifies what they're like coming in. They're like, I don't do this. And they come in and they remember, they're inspired. They're like, this is why, you know, now I can like have my head held high, and they feel proud of themselves for not doing it. It's an accepting thing. But sometimes when you accept who you are, then you have room to change, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once again, that's ochotunes.com and or I don't do that podcast.com. And then we are rebroadcasting those podcasts on FuzzTalkRadio.com at 7 p.m. on Friday nights.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Yeah. Anything else looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be in the free press for that podcast. That's
Awesome.
exciting.
That's
it's
fun.
coming
That's
up.
always fun to get into the free press.
Yeah, it's
So look out for that too.
it's a great feeling.
These guys always getting in the free press.
It's been a number of years since I have, but it's our local newspaper. I found out that like the guy who interviewed me, Dan Greenwood, great man. He was telling me like St. Cloud, their paper has one person working there. You know, there's a lot of like print media that's just operating at like bare bones.
That is wild.
Yeah.
James.
It's a big community too. It's weird to think that, but luckily there are people who like want the people who own that company, the free press. They like journalism.
Yeah.
They want to have a paper. You know. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I got some stuff.
So.
Oh, it's gonna be a wild, wild week for me.
Yeah?
Let me tell you. It's gonna be so much excitement happening.
Yeah.
With a lot of probably not actually much.
No.
Nah, I'm just gonna hang out, try to hopefully not shovel again for like the next 18 years.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Hopefully not be sick again.
That'd be really
like I
nice.
said, dude, I'm
Kind of catching up, chilling.
Yeah. I'm catching up.
Nice.
Also, like I said, getting into some awesome video games that I haven't played for a bit.
C-dubs.
Exciting.
What do you got going on?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited for Dynamite. That's gonna be so much fun.
And you know what else you got exciting?
I've been excited for wrestling.
Do you want to talk about that, or do you want to talk about it next week? We can put a pin in it.
Yeah, let's put a pin in it.
Okay, we'll put a pin in it.
I love pins.
So next week, make sure to tune in to find out what the pin is that we're going to take out.
I don't even know what it
The
is.
C-dubs. We'll tell you off camera.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Fuzzy, what about you?
Me?
Let's watch some wrestling.
Probably gonna
Pins.
do some fuzzy things
Watch wrestling.
and some fuzzy stuff, and take it easy. You know, just like what the rabbit hole says, take it easy. Yeah, no, you know, like I'm just gonna chill. And you know,
good.
sometimes when life has a lot of things going on, sometimes the best thing to do is just hang out and be cool.
FuzzJockRadio. FuzzJockRadio.